Today, I am taking a team in the 10th Division, FC Isle of Man, and giving them $1 billion to spend on whatever they want, and hopefully it will help them rise up the leagues. What do you think is going to happen? This ended up being the most realistic Football Manager experiment I've ever done, so please subscribe if you want to see more like this, and I recommend you watch until the end because it is hilarious. Now, last time I just went in and I did edit club details, and I just gave them $1 billion right here in their bank balance. This time I'm doing it a little bit differently. Let's take a look. So you can see here in sponsorships, that's where I've put in the money. So it's a $1 billion sponsorship for 1 year, so that should hopefully give them $1 billion, and hopefully that will mean they actually spend it. Last time, it sort of just sat there in their income forever, but as you can see here, they've actually moved a bunch of it into transfer budget, so they have a $37 million transfer budget, and that is in the 10th division, so hopefully they should make quick work of it. Has sort of screwed up this projection screen, because this is assuming they get another $1 billion sponsorship next year, but with right now what they're saying is £13,000 as their salary cost, they should be fine. So let's come back in a little bit and see if they've started to spend the money. Well, here we are a year later, and they are still in the same league. What happened last season? Stockport Town, what? Did they get relegated? They can't get relegated, there's only 10 divisions loaded, but how on earth did they finish last with that much money? What happened here? Hold on. Wait a minute. Something's gone wrong. Did they make any transfers? They only made free transfers, but they did do a lot, so maybe they're giving these people a lot of money and wages. That would make sense, right? No loans. They've got some staff, but none of these people on absurd amounts of money. Head coach is where I want to see some of that spend go. This guy's decent for this division, but not fantastic. He might be a little out of their league the last time he was in this team. I'm not sure how much better they are in the 10th division, 2nd division Wales, but I think it's a little bit better at least. Okay, they do have some people that are on more than you'd expect for this level. Like this guy's on £5,000 as the first choice goalkeeper, but nothing insane here. Jeez, this manager screwed them over. Sam Wilkinson, he was their manager for a while. He played 23 games with them. He lost 18 of them and drew 5 of them, winning 0%. So this may have been completely his fault, looking at it from this perspective. Oliver also didn't do too well as an interim, 4 games total. And this guy managed to win a few, 15, but still not that many. So maybe the team morale was just so bad that they were screwed. So hopefully they do better next season. I still am expecting them to get promoted, not finish 21st, but I don't know, let's see. And here we go, this season, they did better than last season. That is a very low bar though. One of the teams in this league no longer exists somehow. They're in 18th now, which is better than last time, but still, like, they only won 7 games. How is this happening? Oh, that's not the graph I wanted to see. Still no transfer spend. Same head coach that was not very good. He didn't do better this. And they have not increased anyone's pay. They have brought in some new people on some more amounts of money. But, I mean, still, that's not that good. Let's take a look at the finances. Yeah, see, how has this happened? Because they have a ton of money. I'm not sure how they were in debt $1 billion there, but that has to be a graph mistake. But yeah, they have a ton of money. Huge transfer budget, huge payroll budget. They've got a decent scouting network. They've got a lot of scouts. Obviously, the bulk of the money came from a sponsorship, which is recurring. I thought that would make them spend it, but apparently not. I guess they're not charging money for... No, they are charging money for get receipts, all right. What interest is this, though? Where are they getting interest from? Did the owner of the club just invest money in, like, a fund instead of spending it on the club, and now they're just receiving, like, almost £1 million worth of interest a month? Has this club turned into a money laundering scheme instead of spending the money on players? What are they spending all of this on? Oh, £2 million for ground maintenance. What's that? What is £200 million of other? Miscellaneous expenses are just advertising, supplies, and other general expenses? Here we go, yeah, £300 million dividend. You don't get to pay yourself a £300 million dividend when your team just finished in, like, 3rd to last place. 2nd to last place. No. Come on. Board expectation is to finish bottom of the league. I'm convinced that they're treating this as just a bank account now. They know they've got $1 billion recurring sponsorship. They don't care about the sport anymore. The ownership of the club is just taking the money. Take the money and run. Pretty realistic to real owners, though, if they are doing that. Let's go to the end of when I simulated this and see if they managed to clean up their act by then. The sponsorship's slowly been dropping off now that we're in the future. And unfortunately, the growth of this team has been very slow. They're now in 17th place. And this season, which I didn't even bother finish simulating, they're in 10th place. but they're pretty far off the top. It's not going to happen. That is a consistent rise. However, it's still not very impressive. The board is not even judging the team's performance in the league, not judging the performance in the major cups. They literally don't care. The top scorer is a player called Kurt Money. Seems pretty realistic because the only thing these owners seem to care about is the money, which makes sense. It is £1 billion. I'm not saying I would do something differently, but come on, you could spend a little bit. We're sticking to our £2 million of ground maintenance money laundering. And oh, here we go, £500 million of dividends. I'm glad we're spending money on those. Those feel like they make a big difference to the club. Here we are with £1.17 million of other. I see around £200 million of other over there. Not sure what that is. Of course, the director has been taking a hearty raise throughout this adventure. And while salary spend is on the rise, they don't really have anything to show for it. Well, the chairperson even left at some point. Why would you leave? Oh, it was an election. Alright, that makes sense. Well, maybe this guy could have done a better job. We gave him a little bit of time. You know, he did actually do slightly better. He made it into 10th place. So maybe if I'd given them some more time, they could have held out and done it. However, things were looking pretty bleak. This wasn't really going anywhere, so I think we answered what would happen if you gave a 10th division team £1 billion. And the answer is, the owner runs off with the money and is never seen again. No one cares about the club anymore because they all have £1 billion to spend on whatever they like. Thank you all so much for watching. To be honest, this is probably the most realistic football manager experiment we've seen so far. If you want to watch what happens when I give £1 billion to a non-league team who actually did try to spend it, click the video on screen now, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.